3.
So Sirach 2, verse 7.
You who fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and turn not aside lest you fall. You who fear the Lord, trust in him, and your reward will not fail. You who fear the Lord, hope for good things, for everlasting joy and mercy. You who fear the Lord, love him, and your hearts will be made radiant. Consider the ancient generations and see, whoever trusted in the Lord and was put to shame, or whoever persevered in his commandments and was forsaken.
Hold on a second there. So, fear of the Lord is the beginning of what?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Yeah, so fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And that's something we, when the fear of the Lord is gone, I mean, we see it even in society, when there's no fear of repercussions for what you're doing, then society quickly devolves into chaos. And you can see riots and people, grabbing a 72-inch TV and running out of Walmart or Adidas store and jumping out with all the shoes and everything. It's just, there's no consequence. And people do things that, really, once that fear of, punishment for crime is gone, I mean, that is, we deserve punishment for the wrong that we do. And I think once that's gone, where there is no right, there is no wrong, then what does society develop into? It's just chaos, right? If there is no right or, that's what happened in the 20th century. If there's no right or wrong and it's just a communism, you're just, you no longer serve me, you're old or whatever, so I'm going to shoot you, boom. There's no right or wrong, that's what they did. Or it's convenient for me to have your property, so I'll kill you, I mean, that's what happened. And, when there is no right or wrong, and this is what they were training and teaching, I mean, this is the true face of evil, is when you get that. And that's kind of, there's once that fear of God, the punishment of God and eternal judgment is gone, and they don't believe that there is a God anymore, all wisdom goes out the door. And what you get is just an horrific society. And whoever can accumulate the most power and mass will rule until he's killed by somebody who finds it opportune to kill him off. And so that's kind of what we saw that was the bloodiest century ever. And this one is just beginning, so.
Or whoever called upon him and was overlooked. For the Lord is compassionate and merciful. He forgives sins and saves in time of affliction. And he is the shield of all who seek him in truth. Woe to timid hearts and to slack hands, and to the sinner who walks along two ways. Woe to the faint heart, for it has no trust. Therefore, it will not be sheltered. Woe to you who have lost your endurance. What will you do when the Lord punishes you? Those who fear the Lord will not disobey his words, and those who love him will keep his ways. Those who fear the Lord will seek his approval, and those who love him will be filled with the law. Those who fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and will humble themselves before him. Let us fall into the hands of the Lord, but not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so also is his mercy. Duties toward parents and others. Listen to me, your father, O children, and act accordingly, that you may be kept in safety. For the Lord honored the father above the children, and he confirmed the right of the mother over her sons. Whoever honors his father atones for sins and preserves himself from them. When he prays, he is heard. And whoever glorifies his mother is like one who lays up treasure. Whoever honors his father will be gladdened by his own children. And when he prays, he will be heard. Whoever glorifies his father will have long life, and whoever obeys the Lord will refresh his mother. He will serve his parents as his masters.
Okay, let's stop there for a second. So we have this commandment for honoring your father and mother. And this is kind of important. So this is the only commandment that has a promise. Whoever glorifies his father will have long life. That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Mm.
That's the only commandment that has a promise attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this, this is even, this is something that it's been lost. I mean, it's being lost in our society. But even if you go into places like China and, the godless societies, but they still have a lot more respect and honor, for the elderly than they do, in this country, unfortunately. I mean, we're kind of cast aside, and that's not the way it should be. And that's not, we're called to honor the father and mother. We're called to honor them and actually, because we're going to be that way ourselves also, right? So make sure you honor your father and mother.
It don't say honor thy children.
No, it doesn't even say love. It doesn't say love your father and mother either. It does not say that. It says honor them, right?
Or respect.
Yeah, because that's a kind of an important distinction too. He's not saying, we're called to love all people, but you're called in particular to honor the father. And whoever honors his father atones for sin. When he prays, he is heard. These are some pretty important. That's why it's good to offer, if your parents have passed away, offer some masses for your parents. That if your parents passed away, it's good to offer masses for them. That's honoring them. Even at this point in your life, offer some masses for them, because we don't know if those masses will be the only thing that'll get them into heaven. Because after you're gone, who will ever honor your grandparents or your parents again? When you think about it, will your kids or your grandkids maybe, but so this is a duty that we have, and I just see that this has really gone downhill over the years, where I see so much disrespect, and it's kind of encouraged in all the media, where don't listen to dad, he's not, that's what Hollywood would like to do, is to minimize men, masculinity, show it as toxic masculinity, and what they're doing is they're effeminize men, and so they're not honored. Oh, they're just, and you see that in all the different sitcoms and everything else. This has been going on for 30, 40 years, where men are just been disrespected, and so that's an attack on the family. And once they're doing that, they're violating, so the kids aren't honoring, and they're not getting these blessings that come with it. That's part of the commandment.
They don't even care. They don't care because they're not into religion.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And but I think
got one like that now.
Yeah.
My oldest son disrespected me. So
yeah, pray for him. What you need to do is pray.
I pray for him.
Yeah,
all the time.
pray for him and double up your prayers.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do, because
One of them hard-headed guys. I don't want to.
I wonder where he got that from. You know what they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm the first to admit I've been hard-headed a lot of my life, but and so you pray for him and just have that confidence. Wait till God gets a hold of him. And I think when you have that,
He don't even go to church.
That's okay. That doesn't mean he's not going to. You don't know that, because he's gonna one day, he may be on his deathbed, and some priest will come and he'll make his confession and go to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that. You pray for final perseverance for him, and that's what we're called to do as parents. That's what we're called to do as friends and family and a community. We're called to pray for each other. And so the one nice thing is that if you guys participate, you're part of Bible study. Every Sunday morning, we have Mass for the Bible study members. Father says the living members of the Bible study. You have no idea. The amount of graces you're getting can be infinite, because one one communion you can get infinite graces from. The only thing that limits us is us. I mean, St. Thomas Aquinas said that we're the limitation. Because God, body, blood, soul, and divinity, each of us is receiving, and the amount of graces we're getting are limited by our lack of faith or by our belief. But this is God truly present. And so you're getting these masses each week offered for you. And so that's pretty amazing too. And believe you me, that's probably why we're here today. So we got time. Let's keep going.
Okay. Honor your father by word and deed, that a blessing from him may come upon you. For a father's blessing strengthens the houses of the children, but a mother's curse uproots their foundations. Do not glorify yourself by dishonoring your father, for your father's dishonor is no glory to you. For a man's glory comes from honoring his father, and it is a disgrace for children not to respect their mother. O son, help your father in his old age, and do not grieve him as long as he lives. Even if he is lacking in understanding, show forbearance, and do not despise him all the days of his life. For kindness to a father will not be forgotten, and against your sins it will be credited to you, a house raised in justice to you.
So we heard that. So kindness, against your sins it will be credited. So that's pretty good there, right? I mean, so your sins will be wiped away by the kindness you're showing to your father, by this particular. I mean, that's pretty amazing. God commands it, right? And it's important. If he's saying it, why is it so important? Because it is, and he's saying also when, even if he's lacking in understanding, so that might mean when he gets older and he's kind of losing it, right? I mean, that doesn't mean we don't still honor him and take care of them. And, that's the worst is that, especially as a parent, nobody wants to be a burden on anyone else, right? But we're called to treat them with love and respect until they go. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I think that's important because one day that might be us. Just remember that might be you losing your mind in some point in the future. And how would I want to be treated? That's the way you got to look at it. If that were me losing my mind, how would I want to be treated? Because it very well could be in the future. We don't know. And so that's, we want to build up treasure in heaven. And really, it's just because we love other people that we're doing it. When the love of God's in you, it's just what you do. And so that's something, that's where we have this whole crisis in our society where, Alzheimer and dementia is just like skyrocketing. It's just terrible. And it may be tied to food. It may be tied to a lot of things, but, we got to make sure that even if we show forbearance and we still honor them. And when people are like that, they're scared and they lash out sometimes and they don't act the same that they used to. And that's all part of it. And I think that's where it's important that people say, okay, that's still my mom or dad, or they're going through some stuff, and so my mom had MS, and so she had strokes, and so, she changed over time, but we always, we loved her, and we just understood that this is always mom, even till the point she went. But I think it's, many people, when their parents lose it, they don't want to have anything to do with them, and that's the worst thing that you can do.
That's the way we grew up, but now it's the difference in some of these kids.
Yeah.
Different.
Yep, it is. Yeah.
You don't have the respect that we grew up with.
Right. And so sometimes when we're talking I think part of it is you can just, you can relay stories to them, and say, well, one day they may not care, right? They may not listen. They may not care.
They don't listen.
Well, God listens, so pray to him.
Yeah, I do.
He'll take, what? He knows how to handle hard heads. He's been Peter was, he knows how to deal with them. That's what he's good with that. So.
In the day of your affliction, it will be remembered in your favor. As frost in fair weather, your sins will melt away. Whoever forsakes his father is like a blasphemer, and whoever angers his mother is cursed by the Lord. My son, Perform your task in meekness, then you will be loved more than a giver of gifts. The greater you are, the more you must humble yourself, so you will find favor with God. There are many who are noble and renowned, but it is to the humble that he reveals his mysteries. For great is the might of the Lord. He is glorified by the humble. Seek not what is too difficult for you, nor investigate what is beyond your power. Reflect upon what has been assigned to you, and do not be curious about many of his works, for you do not need to see with your eyes what is hidden. Do not meddle in what is beyond your tasks, for matters too great for human understanding have been shown you. For their hasty judgment has led many astray, and wrong opinion has caused their thoughts to slip. A stubborn mind will be afflicted at the end, and whoever loves danger will perish by it. A stubborn mind will be burdened by troubles, and the sinner will heap sin upon sin. The affliction of the proud has no healing, for a plant of wickedness has taken root in them, though it will not be perceived. The mind of the wise man will ponder the words of the wise, and an attentive ear is the wise man's desire. Water extinguishes a blazing fire, so almsgiving atones for sin. Whoever repays favors gives thought to the future. At the moment of his falling, he will find support.
And we'll stop there tonight. So, all of us should be giving. I mean, we're all very rich. I mean, as long as you can. I mean, no, I mean, in terms of like the world. I mean, so for example, you were in the Philippines. A lot of real poor people there.
Oh, very good.
And so I've been all over the world, and we have no idea what poverty is. In America, our poor are usually about 70 pounds overweight. I mean, and I'm not saying that as criticism. I'm just saying there's a plenty. But over there, I mean, they have nothing. These people have distended stomachs from nothing. They don't know what they're drinking, dirty water. I mean, they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. They're in the dumps. I mean, millions of people are digging through the dumps outside of Calcutta trying to find food. And you know, I mean, we have such luxury and excess. I think it's important that we be mindful of the things that we have, because we're going to have to take account to God, you know, when we stand before him. When I was hungry, did you feed me? You know, when I was in prison, did you visit me? When I was, you know, when I was thirsty, did you give me drink? And so, I mean, these works of mercy. So I'm just trying to encourage you. I mean, if you're not giving to a good cause regularly, I would encourage it, because that's also a way to show love. And you can see here, water extinguishing a blazing fire. Well, hell is a blazing fire. So almsgiving atones for sins. So there's kind of a connection, right?
Is that indulgences? Buying indulgences?
No, it's just, it's basically God saying we should be. I mean, we should be given from our treasure. And actually, if you have love of God, it's pointing you right action. These are right actions we should be doing. I mean, and God dwelling within us, we all know that God doesn't want us to hoard things and hold things on and grasp with our hands. We're supposed to be helping others. And I think that's important too, that, and even if you're doing it for treasures in heaven, right? Almsgiving atones for sins. The one guy that said that is Warren Buffett. He's about 100, but he said, "I'm giving everything away to charity, every bit of it." And he quoted this.
You got plenty to.
Smart man.
Yeah, he said, he quoted this. He said, "Almsgiving covers a multitude of sins." And he goes, "I got a multitude, and I'm hopefully this will help cover it." And he meant it sincerely, but he was just saying, you know, God's given me a lot, and I want to give it to help others, and he's going to do it. You know, we're supposed to be mindful. It says, hold alms in your hands until it sweats. So we have to be thinking, is this actually something that's helping God's good? Or is it something that may have Catholic in the name that's really doing evil? So you really have to research where you're giving also, and we'll end with that.